I thought that was gonna be a softer song in the beginning, and it turned on me quick. I was surprised.
It's a pretty soft song. It's a Weezer song called "Falling for You."
Dude, I want to go to that concert. I'll tell you. We're talking about it more when. Welcome back to another episode of the City Podcast. Yeah, episode 179.
I believe so.
And we are your hosts. I'm Tony, and I'm here with
your boy Eric.
Hate that boy.
And
Roman.
And who's back from the storm?
Sean
Burpley.
Sean Burpley was stuck in a storm of love last week.
Yeah, he was.
Oh yeah, a lot of hail damage. The cars got wrecked. So
I bet they did.
Inside, outside, we had a whole new interior. Should have just thrown away the whole car, really.
Easy there, Neil Patrick Harris and Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, it just popped out of Netflix again.
Yeah, it did.
So, I've literally only seen that movie once.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Harold.
Not a surprise.
I mean, it's not my favorite stoner movie.
Both of those, the part 1 and 2, one time.
I remember. I want to say
too.
like the second one was funny enough for you to remember that you remember the Cyclops thing and
that's hilarious.
the fucking George Bush thinking they were terrorizers.
Yeah, it's always. I mean, anytime you can put in a good G-dub, I'm in. A good.
Everyone's favorite line.
Everybody thought you were terrorizers. Come on, that's hilarious. Because they're both Indian.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
you can't shoot the shooter.
can't fool me again.
Man, these fucking streaming services has all the money now.
Yeah.
Netflix and Hulu's and Amazon Prime and whatever's coming down the pipe work.
I have all of those, but I only pay for Amazon Prime. And I do it for the shipping more than anything else.
That's right.
I just get it free, and they're like, hey, you get all this free shit. And I was like, since when? Fuck you, Amazon. I don't believe you. I don't believe your trifling ass. Jeff Bezos, you're on my shit list. You think Jeff Bezos, like, he has to, right? When,
Has a single tear when someone talks shit about him?
No, well, I'm saying, like, he has to have the, like, the Google alerts when somebody, like, mentions him somewhere. Like, it has to alert him. Because people do that. I'm thinking because of Alexa, like, even though it's not in this house, it's, like, next door. Mm-hmm. And they're probably hearing this, and he's probably crying.
No, I think he's too rich to cry.
I don't think so.
He's so rich he has other people cry for him, and they're probably 10 times better criers than any of us will be.
Nah, they don't look ugly when they cry. They're like really good criers.
Yeah.
That looks sophisticated. Just a couple tears.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you're getting a
like
raise.
Raise the tip of this dick.
Now suck it.
I'm Jeff Bezos.
I cheat on my wife constantly. That's why she filed for divorce.
And people try to, people try to
no
blow
idea.
me up, and I blew myself up.
Yeah, his wife, like, caught him cheating.
No, she didn't catch him cheating. A news outlet, I want to say, one of the news outlet was like, we know you're cheating. We have these pictures. Mm-hmm. And if you don't do what we say, we're going to fucking expose you. Mm-hmm. He was like, fuck you. I'm going to expose myself. Mm-hmm. And he put everything out himself. Like, he admitted to cheating, and I think he put the pictures out, too.
Nice.
So, like, he was like, fuck that. I'm Jeff Bezos.
This is my dick going into this chick.
Yeah.
And she ain't my wife.
Why does Jeff Bezos like so lowbrow?
I don't know.
He's a fucking billionaire. Yeah. We're like, oh, I'm Jeff Bezos.
For some reason, when I go Jeff Bezos, I think of fucking, what's his name? The Texas Hammer.
Jim Hammer?
Yeah. I'm Jeff Bezos.
I'm gonna hammer the shit out this bitch.
So Jeff Bezos is just a millionaire?
The Amazon Hammer.
Oh, so just a billionaire?
He's
the dude who made Amazon?
Yeah, he's a multi-billionaire.
Oh, okay.
He's so rich, he bought like a whole block where he lives, and he's just like, yeah, this is now all of my house.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, he bought like an entire block and was just like, yeah, we're going to like connect it, and this is my mansion now.
I'm going to connect all these small houses, and they're all going to go into one big house.
That sounds pretty cool.
I bet he's fucking bored with life.
I don't know. Like,
and that's why, like, one of the reasons he cheats, he's like, I'm just bored. And bitches be like, I mean, oh, you got all this money? Have this pussy.
They got rid of his homeboy Epstein. You know, he's probably part of that club.
No, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing like there's like fucking Bill Gates and all these multi-billionaires. They're just bored with life.
No, they constantly hustle.
You think
so
so?
they can make more money. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get that successful by just being lazy. You
Like
know what I mean?
I always like pray for like 1 or 2 million and be like, oh, I'm
That's
gonna
why
call
you're
this.
not a fucking multi-millionaire.
True.
You got
That's why you're not a millionaire at all.
Oh fuck.
You gotta have the hustle. Like, there's a certain drive that happens. Like, they're the kind of guys that just never want to lose.
They're
So
not
it does
regular.
not
They
matter
have- yeah,
what
they have-
at what they're not gonna lose.
They're competitive. They never lost that competitive edge. They just keep fucking going
Yeah.
and going and
And
going.
you, sir, have no competitive edge.
Yeah.
Not for money. Never have. Never will.
Oh my
And see, even though you're just like, I wish for $1 million,
Even money.
but I hate money.
Oh, I wish somebody.
My name's Tony.
just want shit to fall my
And I'm macho man.
You know.
You
Here's the
ain't
thing.
got
I
shit.
pray for $2 million, not for me, but just to help out my family.
Oh, there we go.
Ow! Fuck!
Fucking
All right.
sob story over here.
Oh man! You know what? I
My
don't care.
family's doing bad. My family's doing bad too. Yeah. So, I mean, if I'm in the same boat as Tony, I was like, yeah, if I had money, I'd just help out my family and friends.
It's like it's not that I hate money. I like money, but it just money comes easy to me. I could fucking sell. And
I could have had $1
make
million,
money.
but I was just like, whatever. I don't like
Hey,
this
I'm
money.
actually doing really good right now. I'm proud of myself where I am right now.
And I'm proud of you too, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing some hustle. I see it.
Yeah.
Nice.
By the end of this year, I want to have a Rolex on my hand. That's my goal.
You can steal it.
I mean, if that's what brings you
Yeah,
happiness.
Just one of those symbols that you know how in the years in the past. When you became like a manager or something, they used to give you like a fancy watch or a pin or something.
Yeah.
It just means, hey, I achieved something that I have and I get to fly.
A woman
Well,
like
I
you,
really
should,
like
a woman
watches.
like you should get a nice brooch.
Yeah. And that's little fucking pin.
I'm being completely
22
honest.
carats
with
of
you.
gold.
There you go.
You should have a good kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, those jokes used to hurt, but we had a fucking party the other day, and someone,
You're crying. Stop crying.
right? I was telling them, man, because they're asking me, what do you do? And I was like, I ain't tell them about the hustle and the podcast. I go, I just take care of my family and shit.
Take care of my business.
And she's like, oh, so you're just a fucking house bitch.
Oof.
And I was like, you been talking to Eric? She's like, no. I was like, oh, no, I mean, I'm Rosita, so I am a house bitch. She's like, why ain't you mad? I've been broken down enough that girl jokes don't hurt me no more.
There you go.
So I'm just like, I go with it
I
now.
catch them from time to time.
Catching when I'm trying to be a man, and I was like, no, can't do that. Like right now, before we turn on the fucking podcast, Mark was talking about fucking tools and shit. I was like, that is the manliest I ever heard Mark fucking talk. And he was just naming fucking tools that he works with. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
something wrong with
I
me.
want to cook them breakfast.
I want to make him a nice lunch.
I realized there was a man when I was like, we were at Huga just a while before this, and I was putting together a little robot, and I was like, yeah, little robot, and I was like, what's wrong with me?
Well, even at that, like, I'll be at work, and then once I get done with, like, my first shift, then I have my 30-minute lunch, and you could see me, like, people, I was talking to someone, because when I was doing keto, they're like, so, I was working outside, and they were just like, oh, well, yeah, I don't know why. He's like, what are you gonna eat? And I was like, oh, I don't eat lunch. They're like, you don't eat lunch? And I hear that a lot. People are like, you don't eat lunch? Like, you're doing a real intensive job. Like, you need your energy.
You need your carbs.
And I'm just like, I'm good. Like, I just eat after I get home.
Yeah.
And they're just like, and then they start talking keto bullshit like that. But I go and I bring my water jug, and I use my water jug to quench my thirst. But I use it too to fill up my cup so I can fucking paint my Marines. And I will tell you, I'm getting a little faster. I finally finished a Marine in 2 days now.
Nice.
What normally takes other people like a whole squad in a day, I finished one guy with 2. But I read something on Reddit where some guy was like showed off his P Marine guy, and he was like, oh yeah, there's a dude here who has an army of Imperial Fists. And yellow's a hard color to build up, so his army took fucking forever. But if you get it, you get it. I'm like, yeah, I'm justified now. Even though I'm just like base coat black. Yellow on black is...
It's a bitch.
I like how
I paint
Did
white on
you see
black.
how happy he was right now? He got lost in Warhammer for like maybe 10 seconds, and he just looked.
30 minutes. I get 30 minutes of that.
I know,
after
but
that
right
shit.
now when you're talking about it, you had a smile on your face, and you're just like, yeah. I was like, look at the. Okay, so you still a nerd and deep inside.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I'm still a nerd. And, I mean, that's how some of the foremans know me too, because they ask like, "What do you do before this?"
Toys in the corner.
It's like I worked in a warehouse before this for like 8 months, and after that, worked in a fucking comic book shop almost the rest of my life.
Let's see.
And they're just like, "Oh, so you worked with comic books? Like, you know a lot of stuff?" I'm like, "Well, you're in an area, you gotta fucking know some shit."
Yeah.
And they started talking about Star Wars, and I'm like, God damn, I know too much of this. Because they're trying to talk about Star Wars lore and just pop in and be like, actually.
You can't use.
Actually,
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, is Boba Fett one of the Mandalorian? I'm like, actually, Boba Fett is not classified as a Mandalorian because Jango was never one either.
They were just holding back. And
I did not know that.
Hold your hand on that board. I'm gonna smash it with my hammer.
Yeah.
Wait, the clone, he was in a Mandalore? Man.
God damn it. Now we're gonna fucking fall down this rabbit hole.
No. So he just wore the suit?
So, like, he has a suit, but technically, I guess, in the lore, that Jango was never recognized as a full Mandalorian, because the Mandalorians, like,
he didn't get the
culture.
little crest thingy?
Yeah, I guess, like, the actual Mandalorian culture or whatever, they were, like, it's not a race of people, it's just kind of like a tribe or whatever.
Yeah.
And they never recognized him as one. Like in the expanded universe, he became one, and then like Boba Fett became like the new Mandalore or whatever. But since all that got wiped out, Boba Fett and Jango are no longer officially Mandalorians. They just wear the armor.
Why did that get wiped out?
Disney just wanted to.
Disney said, "Fuck all of you."
Wanted to fuck it all up. Not necessarily. You know, in fairness, originally them getting rid of the expanded universe was a good thing, because even though there's like few little nuggets of like, oh, this is good stuff, this is the cream of the crop, there's a lot of fucking shit. Like, it's all just dumb crap that they bombed.
Fair enough.
Hey, you heard it here, guys, from a true fan of the Star Wars.
I thought they were gonna do good when they started like picking little parts of it. They're like, oh, we're gonna bring up Thrawn, the great strategist, and people were like, oh, okay, maybe Disney might do right by us.
And then
here we are now.
Did you ever go see the last movie?
No, I was thinking about it earlier today. I was like, I think I'm past that line where my money's not going to be sent to Disney. It's actually going to be used in the theaters. So,
because you don't want to fucking.
Maybe I'll play it safe and just buy a ticket to Cats and then just sneak into.
Why don't you want to give your money to Disney?
Because they suck.
Because the Cats, that was a fucking.
This does not suck.
Oh, you saw Cats?
No, I just.
For
like,
both there.
From what I've seen, like clips and reviews of it, fucking horrible.
They said that new Dr. Dolittle was terrible too.
Oh, don't say that. I wanted to see that this weekend.
They said it was bad. They said, like, I think IGN, which I vibe with, like, whoever does their movie reviews, I generally agree with them.
Oh, man, that sucks.
They gave, like, Dr. Dolittle, like, a fucking 2 or 3 out of 10. And I was like, oh, that's really bad. Yeah, they said it was really bad.
I told you, dude, Robert Downey Jr. should just play Iron Man.
That's it.
He doesn't want to play Iron Man. He doesn't want to be known as Iron Man.
No,
he needs to get back on the drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up. Wait, he didn't do Iron Man on drugs. He did it.
No. He cleaned up after that, but you know, everyone liked him better when he was on the drugs.
If I get to go to the movies this week, I want to go see Bad Boys then.
Oh,
because was Bad Boys or fucking.
I think IGN gave that one like a 7. So it's
Michael Bay. If you like explosions, guns, you're gonna get it.
So it doesn't matter.
No.
Bad Boys seems like a guilty pleasure.
I remember Bad Boys 1. Like, that was a movie I saw as a kid. I was like, all right, this is cool. I never even bothered to see part 2.
I remember trying to watch part 2, and I remember that being long as fuck.
It wasn't that long.
It was pretty long.
Right? I felt like it was going on for 5 fucking hours. Like, I think I like watched a good hour of it, and then I spaced out and went somewhere else, and then came back like half a day later, and I was like, how are we in fucking Rio de Janeiro?
I saw the second one the first time, and it was all right. But then when I watched it again, I was like, how does this transition? Like it seemed long. And the only thing I remember is they're watching 2 fucking rats fucking. and they're like, they fuck like us, because one of them was just like railing the other.
I don't remember that part.
And inside the coke hits the
That's all
walls.
I remember.
Yeah, so I made the right decision by not watching it. Got it.
Yeah.
One will be just there. I remember one well enough. That's good enough for me. But yeah, apparently they gave that one like a decent score. It's just Will Smith and Martin Lawrence yelling and shooting. And
If I watch any movie, any movie reviews, I watch the Escapist Movie Bob, because he just has terrible taste in movies. Like
Tony level terrible.
Yeah, it's almost like I remember. Because I used to
You
watch.
agreeing with that?
You're like, who gave Tony a job in criticism?
I remember, I used to watch a lot of stuff from the Escapist. Like, I used to watch Load Ready. Was it
Loading Ready Run?
Yeah, and they did other stuff on there too.
Yeah.
And Extra Credits was on there. And I used to watch Zero Punctuation. I'm like, damn, they got all the fucking good hitters.
Yeah.
It's like, check out.
I did like the extra credits.
Yeah. And then they're like, we got Movie Bob. And I was like, all right. I watched some. I was like, it's not bad. And I think that's when G.I. Joe came out, the live action movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let's see him fucking rail against this. This is going to be good. And he's like,
it was a decent movie.
so he was just like, he does the whole like fast talking, whatever bullshit. And he's like, overall, G.I. Joe's just a good movie. Just like, it's just fun for the whole family. Just like, what the fuck?
G.I. Joe was a fun movie.
The worm is churning, people.
He's like, it's just good, fun family movies. You want to go and watch a good movie? Go watch G.I. Joe. It's just like
This
like
episode
going in.
brought to you by G.I. Joe in movie theaters. You
Now
can
works for
watch
our
that part.
sponsor. Oh no, here comes Cobra Commander. He's like, if you hate Transformers, he's like, go fuck yourself, because Transformers is great too. I'm like, man, this guy has terrible taste.
Transformers was great.
No, it wasn't. Stop it.
The Shia LaBeouf one with Megan Fox.
Stop.
Oh man,
Just stop.
You're silly.
First one was
Tony, you're a silly
okay.
boy.
It was okay because it was...
Shia LaBeouf was only in 2 movies.
The first one was okay. Just because it was something new.
Because Megatron
They
open a black bot.
Yeah, jazz bot.
Yeah, that's fucking... I ever watched that? He's like, I'm gonna get at you, Megatron. He's like, no, I want a piece of you. He's like, how about both? Fuck, rip it apart. At the end of it, I was like, did they just kill off just the black guy?
You know they did.
Whoa.
I'm racist.
Yeah. I'm a bad guy. What do you think I was gonna do? I'm Megatron.
Then
bad guy.
he opens up his chest and his core to swastika.
Space Nazi.
I'm powered by the outright.
Why do you think? Yeah. What do you think the Mega stands for? It stands for Mega Evil.
He just starts throwing OK symbols everywhere.
Oh, that's way ahead of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
As a kid, I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that's gonna. Maybe in 10 years, it's gonna be relevant.
The OK symbol has now been claimed by the alt-right.
Yeah.
Why? What does that mean?
The OK symbol is supposed to stand for. I think you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
They say they're saying like the circle game is the OK symbol or whatever. It stands for white power because the W or whatever. It's something with a W and then the circle with a P. So that's what the OK symbol is supposed to.
So now they're trying to beat gangs down, talking with their hands.
That was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the thing is that did not really like take off until late last year.
See, I was tripping.
And I told you that was when I was in the elevator and some dude who was because I worked with this one guy and he had the Kickstand, I'm a Kickstand warrior or whatever. And someone was just like, yeah, Dustin was showing that off. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, Dustin's like the epitome of just like the internet just being out. And one dude was just like, yeah, the Kickstand thing, that's all right propaganda. What they're trying to say is like, this and that. I'm like, whoa, really?
The fuck is the Kickstand?
Kickstand is... Okay.
Go down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. Wow, man, I've just been down so many rabbit holes today.
I'll once you explain it, I'll relate it to something that Eric might know.
So Kickstand is a 4chan meme where you know how Pepe the Frog was labeled as a hate symbol.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, for black people?
No, they just say it's an alt-right symbol of hate because they were using Pepe as like Donald Trump. And Donald Trump was like, "Oh man, these kind of funny, whatever." Hey, I'm Donald Trump. But Donald Trump. So, and I heard some more, which leads me down to my even bigger rabbit hole because they did brush up on Kickstand a bit. So originally it started off as like Kek, K-E-K in Korea means LOL. And
Gotcha.
so they were just like, oh, this is just a different way to say LOL. And then they started going down the line. They're like, oh, Kek was also an Egyptian god, the god of like, I think like chaos or whatever. And they're like, okay, so this is an imaginary place where a frog is the god of Kickstand or whatever, and we're all the Kickstand soldiers and warriors. And so their whole thing is just like, we're just gonna send out these memes and just mess with all these social justice types, just or liberals or left people, like left wing people, and sure enough, kind of caught on. And they were saying that the whole idea of it being a 4chan troll is just a ruse and is actually a tool of the alt-right to spread hate and discontent among the world.
And their symbols like two Ks like facing
It's
each
two
other.
Ks facing each other.
Okay, it's two Ks facing each other.
Isn't that from an anime? The 2K ones?
Possibly.
Like, it was a white and black one. Remember?
I don't know.
No, you're thinking of the king something.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
Well, that symbol that it actually showed up in Destiny.
But it's the backwards one. It's the K's facing outside, not each other.
Well, that symbol. In Destiny, there was a hunter. I think it was a glove piece. It might have been just like body armor, but it might have been actual gloves. It had the symbol. It had like a vague like.
It was a diamond, and people was like, "That's 2Ks."
No, not it. It did look like 2Ks, but it had extra designs.
But they focus on the 2Ks.
But they focused on the 2Ks, and they're like, "Oh my god, this fucking alt-right bullshit." And Bungie was like, "We're just gonna disable it. Like, no one's gonna have. We're just taking it out of the game."
Yeah.
So, and that was within like the first like couple of weeks of Destiny 2 that had happened. So yeah, that Kickstand, it's been a fucking thing for a while.
Yeah.
And now, like in the last late last year, started getting like a lot of like prominence, especially with like the OK shit.
So they scared
the OK
Destiny out of
So now you can't even throw out an OK or the fucking ball game.
Just doing the fucking.
No, the fucking.
But honestly,
just
did
keep
they
your
claim
hands
it though?
closed.
The what?
Has it been like? Was it claimed by the
No,
fucking? Or it's just like the internet being the fucking.
It's the internet. They're like,
Yeah.
what we're gonna do, we're gonna spread this propaganda, or we're gonna spread this rumor that the OK symbol, or just if you hold it that way, means this, and watch,
And people be like, okay.
and watch the media just grab this and just run with it, and they did.
Jesus.
Yeah, and the media did, and then like people like our age were like, "That's just a fucking punch game."
Yeah,
It's a punch game. So
Ball
what the fuck
gazer.
are you doing? Like everybody did that. It's not fucking anything. So like now it's starting to reverse where people are like, yeah, it's just bullshit.
Some
Like,
people will, but then you meet people like
that.
that one dude who just
Yeah.
just believe, and he was a young kid. He was a young guy too.
And it's usually the young kids that are doing it. It's usually young kids that are just like making snap judgments. They're not really thinking about things.
Yeah.
I guess we're a little bit older, so we tend.
Man, we're old, dude.
I mean,
We're not old. We're not old. We're just older.
I
We're
like to
old.
be considered old.
That's one of the things.
That's because someone called you boomer.
No, not even that. It's way before that.
Maybe
I was dropping off homegirl to another thing, and I was like, "Well, you're old," and she's like, "Don't call me." I was like, "Why is everybody against being old?" It's like when you get older, you get the ability to not give a fuck even more now. And they're like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, have you ever seen old people? They do whatever the fuck they want. Ain't nobody gonna tell them
But
shit."
the thing is, you're not old.
I want to be. You call me old, I'm acting.
You're gonna get there, don't worry.
You want to be. That's
like,
fine. You're not old yet.
like in age
I'm
wise,
waiting for it. I want someone to wipe my ass.
mentally, like mental wise.
We're in their fucking 30s. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That is literally nothing.
I don't know. I think the
No, it's not.
life
It's
expectancy
not.
was
It's
still
not.
70 years,
The life expectancy is 76 or 80,
right?
I believe.
Now
76.
now we're 30. That means we're almost close to
But that's
midlife
not
crisis.
That's not even mid age though.
Yeah.
Mid age is considered your 40s.
Yeah.
I mean,
thought it was
no,
50.
I mean,
No.
do numbers.
Oh.
If 70,
50's over the hill.
old, like that's death. 30s is midlife.
No, that's the thing. Like there's a thing that has been studied where they say there's actually a quarter life crisis, and that's like in your late 20s. Like your late 20s is considered.
Because you wasted at party, bro.
Well, not even that. It's just like you feel like,
Drugs.
oh my god, like I haven't done enough in my life. So there's quarter life crisis. There's that, and then everybody knows the midlife crisis. But that's always been accepted as in your 40s. Like,
yeah, but to me, it's either you're young or you're not. If you're not young, you're old, right?
yeah.
And
But again, I think you're wanting that though. But that's not the truth of it.
Though.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But you're not old. That's the problem. You're older.
I'm older than all of you. So
Yeah, you're older. Yeah, but you're not old.
This nigga's at 40.
Mm-hmm. So
Right,
I mean, what do you consider old? Like where's the line drawn for old?
Honestly, it's like your 40s. Like when you're
it's
like
how you feel, Tony. It's how you feel.
I honestly see it as your
And my
mid
grandma's
40s.
fucking 90 and she still runs around like crazy.
Yeah.
I honestly think like older when you're 45. Like
Yeah.
45 is like, oh, you're old. Like you're older now. Like you're already past a certain point in your life.
You're past your prime. Get the fuck into a hole.
Yeah, but I mean, even and I don't know, never mind.
Whatever.
I was gonna
either
say,
way.
even in your fucking 30s,
Mhm.
there's things you can't do because they'd be like, oh, really, dude, you're already fucking old.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's just
I
a society.
know.
But
That's a societal norm.
now those lines get blurred now, so.
Hey, so
Nah,
I'm 31. I'm still a fucking child.
Mhm.
To be honest, I haven't really.
We
grown
just
up.
talked about painting.
Fucking.
painting
I
army
was being really happy. Fucking
Because
building a little robot.
you see those memes, you're like, oh, you're that old dude in the party, or you're the old dude in the back of the concert kind of deal.
Yeah.
And they're like 30-year-olds. And I was,
No,
the Weezer.
it's
I wanted to go to the Harley Davidson concert.
Yeah.
It's Weezer, Fall Out Boy, and Green Day put together.
Okay.
And ow. But I was like, oh man,
He's keeping true to his nature.
Yeah.
man.
Actually, nah, I like Fall Out Boy.
And Weezer's not bad.
Some Weezer.
What's wrong with
No,
Green Day?
I like Weezer. I mean,
What
I like Weezer. I'll just leave it at that.
I like the first 3 albums.
I like.
Green Album was the last one that I really liked.
I will say maybe Dookie's like really kind of cutting it.
No, I'm talking about Weezer.
Oh.
Like, the Blue Album, Pinkerton is my favorite, and then like there's the Green Album. That's where they had Hash Pipe.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pushing it, but
Get
like that
overplayed?
album overall is pretty good.
Yeah.
And when it comes to what was the other band?
Green Day and Fall
Fall
Out
Out
Boy.
Boy.
Fall
Green
Out
Boy.
Green
Green
Day.
Boy.
Green Day.
Green Day.
Fallout Day.
It's an awesome band. Green Day.
Fallout Green.
Dookie is pretty good. I do like.
I would say
Dookie.
Dookie's the cutoff. After that, then that's when they came back with their black. And
I mean, Dookie's the
red.
first album.
That's it. They peaked.
It's literally the first album.
That's
Nimrod.
day
Nimrod
one
is
peaking.
okay.
Nimrod was okay.
Nimrod is. I
All I remember is Dookie, and then they came back on, I guess,
No, because that was that
2000s, where they-
American. What was
yeah,
it?
that's when American Idiot came out, and they were just like, we're gonna have a uniform where we wear all black.
Yeah.
We
That
have
was the
red
era
ties.
of
That's it.
the fucking
No,
My
I-
Chemical Romance.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
the
had
emo
black
phase.
shirts.
That was
Yeah.
not-
honestly, Dookie, Nimrod, and there's another album after that. That it's the one that has like Warning, Minority. Like it's an okay album. It's before they went into their fucking emo thing,
Yeah.
where they were just like, oh, you're just being emo to make money. All right, got you.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
I
but-
bought everything.
Yeah, I know you are. You're
Mhm.
you're a fucking tool.
And Fallout Boy.
damn.
But
yeah, Fallout Boy.
Dookie and Nimrod for sure are good albums. Though I will say this, I cannot listen to them back to back. I can listen to one album, and I have to give a good space between listening to any other Green Day.
Like
after
a
that.
decade.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of time.
And
before
Fall
I
Out Boy
can-
has a lot of good catchy songs.
They're catchy. I'll admit that.
Come
Yeah.
on, dance, great stuff.
I'm kind of tired of that one, but there's other cool
I mean, like
songs.
it's like Weezer's
Sugar
Hash
were
Pipe.
going down.
Sugar's okay, but
Songs that were blasted on the radio and then took over by the media. Yeah, I get it, but they're still good.
yeah,
songs.
I can get down to some Fall Out Boy.
But anyway, so this concert was coming around. I was like, oh man, I want to go.
Mhm.
But then I realized I won't be able to make it in a mosh pit no more because I'm fat.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
are you gonna be in a mosh pit?
Me and Eric and I guess John are gonna go to the Scary Kids Scaring Kids. It's happening in like 2 weeks. They have the new singer. It's kind of just like a little like, I guess a reunion just to kind of remember the original singer that overdosed on heroin. And I was like, you know what? That's cool.
We all get needles.
I have no intentions of going into the mosh pit.
Yeah.
Because and it's not because like I'm fucking old. It's just like I'm past that phase of my life where I'm just like a mosh pit doesn't do anything for me.
I can't be in the mosh pit because everybody there is too young and I might grope somebody.
That's another fucking thing.
I might grope somebody.
That's why I went when I was younger. I went there and fucking see what's up.
Okay, so you're just the creep factor's always been a thing.
You make a shirt
to be
be
fair,
like your age.
I was a big dude, and then chicks would hang out around me so I could protect them, and I'd be like,
no, I get it. I was there as well.
Exactly.
Being the big dude in a mosh pit or in the front of the concert has always been the best thing because you're the catapult.
Yeah, for
all the fucking girls be like, hey man, can you throw me up? It's like, alright, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't do that no more.
I'll let you grab my side butt.
Side butt.
I was
But watch out, I didn't want
I'm fat. I fucking get it. I was that dude back there.
I was like, oh man, the concert's coming. Fucking mosh pit was the best part.
I almost fucked some chick in the front of a Coheed concert.
But that's the thing, though. I can't do none of that.
And I'm the creep.
She wanted it.
Sure.
The condom fell in our hands, and we were like, "What's up?" And then I second guessed. I was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna fuck with my little dick out in front of everybody."
Hell yeah, dude.
But now
I'm just like, yeah, I'll whip out my little dick. I don't give a shit.
Because you're older.
Because I'm lonely now.
You're older now.
Because I'm older, and you learn things like opportunity only knocks once.
But gonorrhea knocked twice as hard.
Yeah, especially when you're older, your dick can't hang.
Yeah, man, you don't want to be the dude with fucking STDs in the concert.
I want to be that guy.
Hell yeah, you don't want to be that guy, but you want to be the guy who gets there frequently. Just means you smash.
But yeah, I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, the mosh pits was like the best part of the concert.
Yeah.
Because then I was like, I don't really like live music then, do I?
I was like, I like music, so I went for the music.
I'd go to concerts by myself and I'd hang out in the back, drink a beer or two, listen to the music. And
then again, I'm the really boring person to go to the concert because I just go and I actually just listen. Yeah. I'm not feeling the music. I'm not even.
Are you the dude that stays sitting on the fucking chairs and everybody's up?
You know, there's people up there and they're just feeling, just bobbing their head. I'm not even doing that. I'm just like,
you missed a note there.
Yeah, you don't let the music take over you.
Not necessarily. I'm real sightseer, people watcher.
Dude, I can't wait for you. Are you guys gonna have a dance?
We'll go.
I want to see your fucking. I want to see Mark dance.
Oh, it'll be like a quick dance.
Can you dance?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like not since there's no reception. It's gonna be like one dance. Yeah,
it's gonna be like the high school dance. Like,
yeah, she has her hands on my shoulder, and
it's gonna be her second prom.
And I'm like, hey,
I'm gonna get a fucking handful of that ass.
And I'm like, hey, above the waist.
Fuck you, old man.
You're older than me, asshole.
Suck it.
Don't tell her that, bro.
Turn her on.
Oh, I need to sit down.
Back. Threw out my back. I didn't even do nothing.
I literally stand up. Ooh, can't do that.
Oh, Eric, we've been going to the gym now. Is there any marked improvement in your morning routine?
Yeah, just
I don't care about his libido.
I don't know. I'm asking all the heavy questions right now. I've been in a very heavy question mood lately.
This is the thing, though. He comes to the gym and just crashes out. Oh, he eats and then crashes fucking out. I go, that's kind of productive.
Eats Whataburger. I deserved it.
Nah. But this morning, he's like, I actually feel good. Maybe going to the gym was the right decision for me. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to take a nap. I was like, yeah, sure.
No, I slept and then I went to go eat at Denny's with you. Then I went and bought the couple stuff that I needed for tomorrow and then the chili for the food for lunch. And I was just like, all right, I'll go to sleep. Because I've been trying to sleep a lot earlier, but most of the time I'm still going to sleep at like 4 or 5 in the morning, waking up at 7 or so.
Yeah, man, you gotta change that.
9.
Yeah,
just going to work
7 in the morning?
Huh?
7 in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh.
Vampire sleep.
Yeah, I go to sleep like 4 in the morning or
Okay.
5 in the morning, and then wake up.
Dude, I've not been able to get some fucking sleep and like a good sleep in a long time. And I tried almost everything. I tried sleeping and sleeping.
Sleep pills.
I tried.
I have
I tried nothing, and I'm all out of ideas.
I tried. Was it warm milk?
Ugh. Why would you do that when you're lactose intolerant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I regret doing
Sometimes I
this.
just need to feel the pain.
I tried coffee. Don't work.
I put on a paint video, and like a lot of dudes are just like boring enough because they're just like, oh, this is like the technique I'm doing here. I'm just like, alright, this is gonna lull me to sleep.
You hear them breathing, and you're like,
No, I really hate that in things, so I tend to stay away from it.
That's another thing I was doing. ASMR does not put me to sleep no more. I'm sad.
I just.
I used to.
I don't know what to do.
Like when I used to have trouble sleeping, I just put on my headphones.
Yeah.
It's too many things in my fucking head.
Yeah.
I try to put on.
You gotta meditate, bro.
podcasts.
I tried doing that too. It doesn't work.
Well, you gotta fucking try.
I'm not
more
doing it
than-
right because the moment I meditate
Mhm.
or I have a moment to think of myself,
Mhm.
all the shit that I have to do gets in the back of my head,
Mhm.
and it just takes over and be like, all right, fuck it. This is a waste of time. Let's get doing what we have to do.
That's why you do it either when you wake up or as you're going to bed.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
we
you
explore
do that.
more.
You do 20 minutes of like meditation.
But then again,
And-
my household has weird hours for things.
I got you, but
So-
it's whenever you can, and the whole thing behind it is that if you do have a thought, you have that thought and you try to let it go.
Maybe
then
I have to go back to seeing a psychiatrist.
That's probably a better.
Don't
idea.
want to though, because psychiatrists are coons. I mean, loons.
I was like, what the fuck, you racist bitch? Calling everybody coons.
Maybe you need to explore more of that. Maybe you need to look deep down in yourself.
We were fucking talking about that. Maybe deep inside I'm just a fucking racist bad person. Then I just.
That's not what I. That's not. What
No,
I
that's
didn't
not-
say. I
I
didn't say that.
I didn't say that.
I implied it, but I didn't say.
But yeah, I went to like pee in the middle of this conversation, so I didn't get all of it.
What I was saying earlier, that since I've been working
Mhm.
and I've been hiding an earpiece in my ear,
Mhm.
I just listened to anything just to occupy my time.
Yeah.
I was listening to a lot of Warhammer stuff. I liked it. I listened to this one book. I kind of got tired of it.
Mhm.
So then I just went on YouTube and just started. I can't watch anything, so I'm trying to find stuff that I can listen to. So normal stuff that I usually watch, real visual focused, I can't really listen to that. So I'll try to listen to some funny stuff. Didn't really work. Just listen to podcasts or whatever. And there's something, I forget how it started, but it just led me down a big rabbit hole of just more psychoanalysis / kind of biblical talk.
Okay.
Ooh,
So-
I like that.
I remember, so how it originally started was, was talking, I'm not going to name any names, but I was talking with a friend of mine that I used to live with.
Mhm.
You already know.
Mhm.
And it was during the lines of like cheating.
Gotcha.
Oh,
And the
that's
person
right.
was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, they were just talking, just like, she was saying like, when I dated this one guy, I assumed he was a cheater and this and that, and I remember telling her like, well then, if you knew in your head that he was a cheater, then why did you stay with him? But you
Yep.
just kept egging him on that he didn't do anything.
Mm.
She's like, I don't know, just whatever. I was like, but in your head, you thought he was a cheater.
Mm.
And I was
a
like,
cheater always a cheater?
I don't think he didn't never cheat on her. She just suspected him of cheating.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's
I
a
mean,
different
this-
fucking mindset.
This really doesn't lead to it, but I remember telling her, saying like, well, would you ever cheat?
Mhm.
And she stopped and she's like, no, I would never do that. She's like, that's disgusting. And she had this moral high ground of just like, I would never cheat or nothing like that. And she's like, would you? And I was like, honestly, when I was in my relationship with that Asian chick,
Mhm.
she cheated on me. And then later down the line, I forgave her. But then back in my head, I was like, I should fucking cheat on this chick. And eventually, like I thought, and I
Pettiness.
explored the idea of just like, yeah, like I had this one person I was kind of like talking to. Nothing really went on with it. I was like, but I'm pretty sure if I led into that way, I could do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I kept thinking about it more and more, I was like, yeah, I could totally in my power, I could totally cheat on her.
It'd be justified.
Yeah, in my head it'd be justified, but
Yeah.
I have this potential. And so, later down the line, I never did it because I just didn't want to.
Yep.
No.
And I told her, I was like, but then after that, I was like, in my head, does that mean that since I dabbled in that, some people will say like, oh, I was just in the moment or whatever. And I guess I came to the realization that like, I guess like I have this potential. I was like, we all have this potential to do bad things that we say we would never do, but we all do.
Yeah.
So anyways, that led to that. And then I started hearing some stuff, and the psychiatrist was saying like, oh, these are the people I like listening to. I like listening to
Dr. Ruth.
yeah, she's fun. I bet she's fun. He's like, oh, like the top two right now, he's like, that I like listening to is obviously Freud and Jung. He's like, but I fucking love Jung because he's like,
I bet she does.
yeah, it was a guy. He's like, but I like Carl
I bet
Jung,
he likes it.
and he's like, because he's like real. When you get to know all his psychoanalyst stuff or just psychiatry stuff in general, he's like scary as fuck. He's terrifying.
Oh.
And so I was like, all right, what is this about? And he started talking a little more about. He's like, Jung is one of the people who kind of went off Freud, but went off a beaten path, where he came up with the idea of like, we all have a shadow, and the shadow is something that's buried deep into your unconscious.
Okay.
And he's like, the only way to become a better person is to now realize your full potential of harm to other people. And that means just like, I guess it's basically, you need to come to terms of your angels and devils, the way he put it. Your Christ to Satan.
Okay.
We all have good potential, but you need to realize that you have really bad potentials, and we all put on like
A
the
mask.
pretty much it's a mask. And so basically what it is the more you think you can't do something, the more the mask goes, and the more that you put on the mask, the greater the shadow becomes. And the shadow comes out during moments of, I guess, relapse. So I guess anger, or just moments where you like
Moments of lashing out.
Yeah.
And that's when your shadow comes out. And some people will regard it as, oh, I wasn't in the right frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
But since the shadow is still technically a part of you,
Mm-hmm.
that's you.
That's just another.
That's just you.
aspect of
And
yourself.
it's slow. Like if you don't come to understanding of it,
Yeah.
it'll eventually overcome you, and you will eventually not merge with it, but you'll be
Subdued by it.
basically, you'll be doing stuff that you know is very wrong, but you just never really come to terms with it, so you'll just keep doing it.
Gotcha.
And it's
Because you
never
don't
really
think it's
going-
wrong.
And
It's never
so,
really a thing where it's like, oh, I'm not in a state of mind. You just keep on telling yourself that to deny what
yeah,
you're-
like, oh, I was just angry, or I was intoxicated, or I was,
All the excuse to justify your actions.
And so when the guy was saying, he was just like, he was like, and I really thought about it. And when you really boil it down to, he's like, I came to the point where like I came to understand Nazis or rapists. Like, why would rapists do this? He's like, I understand why they would do it, and it's scary that they're people too. And we're all technically human, so we all have this potential. And so when you start realizing it, you have, maybe you'll have a better control of your actions or whatever.
Yeah.
And as I was going more with like that Carl Jung guy, he started going into more biblical terms. It's just like some people debate that you cannot overcome your shadows until you give yourself to
a higher being.
not a higher being, as in, the way it's phrased is you have to give yourself to God, or your God.
Where I was trying to be, blanketed over the higher being.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And so
God's really just like a safety blanket, where you're just like, sometimes you use it as a cover, and sometimes you use it as like a shield, to where you're just like, oh no, I can't do that because God wouldn't want it. Or other times you just do it and be like, God will forgive me.
well, at first that's what I thought too, and I did the whole thing like God's a superstition or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, as I started hearing, like, kind of branching out to different things, you just like, okay, let me see what happens if people gave themselves to God. There was another thing he said, that God is not necessarily it's not necessarily a being or something. It's not necessarily a being. God can be a state of mind also, because he's saying another thing was, in your conscious or unconscious, your highest ideal that you have, like this is the most important thing to me, and this is the one thing I will stand up to no matter what.
Yeah.
That's pretty much your God.
Okay.
Like that's your highest.
Your ideal self is.
That is your God.
Okay, gotcha.
And some people were saying like, that's maybe you should trust that more, and maybe that's some ways to help you overcome realizing how much of a bad person you could be.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like a belief in yourself and knowing what you are capable of can keep you away from, I guess, doing harm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see the kind of logic behind that.
Yeah, but then I was telling them that when you start dabbling into that mentality, is that you found out that you really just are a bad person.
But
and then because
I guess you can
like
can
when
see
when you give into the shadow, right? You find out that you were the shadow all the time. And it just turns out you're like, oh, I'm just a bad person. I'm okay with doing murders or rapes or whatever, right? And so I mean, you don't need things to like justify. You just do it now because you're like, I'm okay with it.
I guess that's just all on you, because now.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, is that's where the dangerous part is, that you don't know that's you until you start dabbling into looking who you are.
But that,
like you could
you're saying like once they agree, they give into the shadow, then they're gonna be
they're just gonna be a bad person.
What I'm saying is that you can. Go ahead.
Like when you second guess doing something because you know it's wrong.
Okay.
Say fucking like when you were little and you stole candy from a convenience store shit. When you second guess yourself fucking stealing because you go, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble, or some people go, it's not religious, it's not God's way to fucking steal.
Yeah.
But once you realize and you go, fuck that. I'm not gonna get in trouble for stealing because it's just stealing. There's higher of it. Then you go, okay, and you start taking more shit. And you realize, oh, I'm just gonna start stealing, kind of mentality. Because you thought to yourself and you realize that stealing is not as bad as something else, so you justify stealing. So now you steal.
I think the justifying, it would still be you putting on your mask, because you just start stealing more. But eventually, the thing is, you're gonna keep stealing, but there'll be some point in time where you're gonna get caught.
The main thing is you're not justifying it. You're not doing it to justify. You're not doing it because you're capable of doing it, but you don't want to. It's more like can you rape somebody? Like, do you you could rape somebody? It's easy, simple, but that
consequences.
Your consequences is you're weighing it out, and you're like, I know I could do it. But I know also that I shouldn't do it, and I won't, because it's just
there's
not
a lot
right
of
to
people
do.
that go, I can't do it.
Oh yeah, I always.
And that's
that's
the devil's and angels.
So people that say they can't do it.
Think of this, because sometimes some people just let it. They give their reasons of like, I'm justified to do this, and those are the people like. Here's an example was. Like an example I heard from somebody else saying, like, it's like a nun in an orphanage that used to beat the shit out of the kids, and they were like, I'm doing this to cleanse the child. We all know that beating a child is wrong, and especially the way they did it.
Yeah, depends how hard you can beat a child. I'm down with beating a child.
Well, I mean, this is the old fucking.
This is the whole fucking whip in the back
yeah.
kind of thing with the fucking stick and shit.
Yeah, what was it? Spare the rod, spoil the child, or something like that.
Yeah.
This is like that mentality of it. Or you have like those preset fucking diddle kids as well. And they have like, that's just Satan in me, just whatever. It's not me. It's whatever, and I will be repentant
for whatever. It's a devil, and it came over my body kind of deal.
Yeah, so you're not necessarily coming to terms with your bad potential shadow person. I would say it's not a lot of people are going to think about it and be like, as Eric said, like, I could rape somebody, but I could get caught, but I'm just going to do it because I'm just inherently a bad person. A lot of people don't really think themselves as bad people.
Yeah. I think of myself as a bad person.
Well, see, that's why you're a little sane. You're probably over dramatic about it, but like as much as we say we're bad people and shit people in general, like really not.
Yeah, like
we just say that because we're self-deprecating.
Yeah, exactly. Like when we call each other, like when I call myself an asshole, like, oh yeah, I'm an asshole. And it's just like, yeah, there's an aspect of me that can be mean, but generally I try not to be mean. It's not like I'm actively trying to hurt someone.
Yeah.
And I guess a cheesy way of saying all of this is just knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Knowing your potential for bad can influence you to either improve yourself or fall into your same old habits. Knowing is the key to it, though.
Half the battle.
Yeah, like knowing is half the battle. Knowledge is
G.I.
power.
Joe.
Exactly. G.I. Joe had it right.
Yeah.
So it was a good movie.
Maybe Movie Bob was right.
I'm gonna go back to Movie Bob and see what that's.
But yeah, like I saw his Joker thing. He's like, this movie was terrible because incels. And I was like, fuck you, Movie Bob. Go
suck a dick, Bob. You know, like that kind of introspective kind of analyzing.
The Bible talk too really kind of. I was more interested in the whole shadow thing. I was like, because I thought about this. Mm-hmm. Not saying like I fucking thought of this first because he did, obviously.
Yeah.
I was like, this kind of coincides with what I thought. I was like, maybe I should check out more of the stuff. And then when I kind of saw the Bible stuff, I was kind of turned off in the beginning because just.
Like you're not a religious person.
I'm not a religious person, but now I can kind of see how some of what is put in there can be applied, I guess. If you deconstruct the wording, it can be applied to yourself in certain ways.
Yeah.
Kind of like, we all sit here and we laugh at the Greeks saying, like, you believe they fucking had a god of hay or some shit?
Yeah.
And it's how someone put it was just like, well, they most likely, not necessarily the thought like, Ares is a god of war because he's gonna sit there. Like they thought like we're all tools of the gods because we have all these emotions in us. Like we manifest it in Ares is the god of war because he's the god of anger or whatever. We all have anger in us, and just like gods aren't real. He's like, all right, well then it's like a psych. It's a
the reason why the gods, huh?
Yeah, the reason why we say it's a god because anger is eternal. No matter what, anger will always be here as long as there's people.
Yeah.
So we all.
So you're saying God's an emotion instead of a being?
It could be a state of emotion, if anything.
Seems about right.
Yeah, it was like
usually they'll coincide. Once you feel like the blessing of God, you feel like a warmth of feeling in you.
And so we all share.
Just fucking broke up all the emotions and gave them.
We all share certain emotions. We all share anger. We all share like thirst, or we like music or whatever shit like that. So since this is all internal and this is all psychiatric, if you think of it that way, like, okay, then yeah, when I think of it that way, then I guess, especially the way he said, like, your highest ideals is your own personal God. Like this is your ultimate truth.
Yeah, like taking Ares as an example, like the anger fuels. Anger can be wielded in many ways, and in war, as they're always at war. Especially in those times, they wanted an ideal. Yeah. So they themselves would pray to this. They then kind of called it an entity. Yeah. But it's just their ideal of what a warrior would be.
Exactly.
And how to wield that anger into a victory for whatever side they're on. So I mean, that's just like a cool idea. Like that seems like something I can get behind.
All the shadow just reminds me of fucking Peter Pan. He's fighting with the shadow.
You think of that?
Well, yeah. I mean, as silly as that may be, like you could apply.
Apply that.
Yeah, you can apply it to that.
I don't know if you ever heard that people used to say Peter Pan was the bad guy.
Yeah. And the shadow was the
one that was trying to save the kids.
Yeah.
And
he was trying to get them out of
I never heard that one. I never heard that theory.
It turns out there was a book where I forgot what book where Peter Pan is a bad guy.
Oh, and he just keep these kids here. I heard that. Yeah. I heard that Hook was the good guy.
Hook was the good guy. He was trying to save the kids and make them grow and realize that because supposedly Peter Pan kidnap kids, or he was supposed to be the death of children.
And he was selfish.
And he kept them young forever.
Mm-hmm.
And with Captain Hook is freed him from Peter Pan and let them grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to be, you know, the whole essential, whole mindset thing.
Yeah.
Because Neverland was supposed to be where dead kids go.
Yeah.
And then it was more of like, you could always stay in this state of mind where you're a kid forever.
Carefree
or
or
Hook
whatever.
let you find more of it. So they were saying that Peter Pan's shadow was trying to save the kids before Peter Pan took them, before it was their time, kind of deal.
Mm.
And it got really fucking dark, because I was researching some of Disney's, one of those moments of rabbit holeness.
Yeah.
Where Disney gets all his fucking story, because I was watching the Tom Hanks and Mary Poppins movie where he's Disney.
Oh, that's Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah,
or whatever
and he's like, well, Disney got his a lot of his stuff for his movies and stuff off fairy tales, folklore, and when people were writing it. And Mary Poppins, when she got created, was supposed to be a darker character. It wasn't supposed to have songs and animations and all the happiness, because the writers like, it's a dark story, and I wanted to be told as a dark story.
Yeah.
And Disney's like, oh, I want it for the kids and stuff like that. And so I was like, oh man, I want to see where all these
Then Emma Thompson was like, fuck those kids.
And I was like, I want to see where all these where he got all his materials coming from, and everything, like the Little Mermaid and all these stories were fairy tales thrown from him, but they're just so dark.
I mean, they were called the Grimm fairy tales for a reason.
And
like
they were teach lessons.
Yeah, exactly. They were moral lessons for children.
Scare
like,
people.
Yeah,
exactly.
And one of those that stand out was fucking Peter Pan, because
Yeah.
Peter Pan had to deal with the death of children and having this like limbo of place, and where the hero that was made to be hero was actually the villain, and then the shadow was for them trying to stop the kids from getting stolen and shit like that. I was like, oh, that's fucking. And when you're talking about it, like you're talking right now, just that came up to mind. He's like, where he's trying to fucking fight him, and the shadow doesn't want to get tied to him. He doesn't want to be stitched to Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Cause I'm guessing he's like, I don't want to be associated with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then I think about it, I was like, oh man, that just fucking.
I guess it could be like a reversal where the shadow, like the actual shadow gets taken over, and it actually is Peter Pan, and Peter Pan's trying to get away, distance himself from it. But I mean, no matter what, you can't get away from the bad person you are.
Yep.
I think they were saying too, like if you want to be a better human, basically you just got to come to terms with that, because if you don't realize how shit you are, you'll just.
And the other thing that I was thinking about when you're talking about this is like, when you ask someone, hey man, can you kill a person? And they're like, I could never fucking kill a person, right? Never. But they fucking either hurt your kid or hurt your spouse, or they find you in a bad place of anger and you lash out and you end up fucking killing someone, even though you feel really bad about it. Turns out you can kill a person.
Yeah, like I think everybody has the potential for.
But then you have that excuse. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It was anger. It was
and
I was out of mind, out of body.
And the thing that kind of like a silver lining to that is that we have, laws, and we have like the like a court and a peer due
process,
like due
judged
process,
like, by your peers,
but judged by your peers as well. As like that, in essence, most of the time when we know that there's a murder happening, most people are like, well, you did it. It doesn't matter in what minds, like kind of state of mind you're in. The fact is you killed someone.
Yeah, you did.
And they're usually punished. Now, some more than others, like in terms of like manslaughter and things like that. There's certain things that happen within like what can be sentenced to you.
See,
but the fact is that there's still consequences to your actions, no matter what happens.
That at any age? Because I know kids that under 18 that commit a crime like
they're guilty.
Like if they kill someone by say they fucking were driving, right?
They'll probably put them like in that juvenile detention, and then when they become the proper age, maybe they'll.
They get them. They don't set them free, don't they?
Nope.
No.
They don't, or they fucking.
Not at all. Like they're more than likely
sent to juvenile or a psychiatric ward.
Yeah, and then once from there, I guess once.
Because
the psychiatric test is done, they would remain in a psychiatric prison or just the.
Because isn't there an argument for kids or anybody under the age of 18
that they're not
they're not right of mind yet? They're not mature enough to contemplate, to know of their actions that they took.
I think that's a big discussion that needed to be talked about, because it gets blurred, because when you're
those kids have done horrible things to kill either mostly younger kids or brothers or whatever, like the one where it was like
that little boy that lured another little boy and he just fucking killed him the
little boy done fucking sodomized it, fucking mutilated him.
He killed this little boy. He fucked him up.
And then you had the ones where like preteens, like 11 and 12-year-olds, brought in like this black girl, like 2 black girls, and they put them into a house, and then they beat the shit out of them.
No, kids like those, right? Kids like those that they're like
kill them.
No, I know, but they don't consider themselves bad people.
I think that's
and we call them bad people, but they don't consider them people. Does that not become they're crazy?
I mean,
I think
because you know how you're like judgment and shit. Like you say, you call yourself an asshole, but you know that there's degrees of assholes. And you're not really a fucking asshole. You're just self-deprecating. Yeah. Like, I call myself old. Yeah. And you're like, you're not old. But
exactly. Yeah.
I'm calling myself old.
It's apples to oranges.
Yeah, I mean, but in the whole thing where the kid goes, I'm not bad. You're like, dude, you just fucking did this and shit.
But the thing is,
I assume that whole psychoanalyst thing could be like, a sane person can do this and try to, not justify it, they try to look into themselves and see the potential of it. But then I guess when you do that, and like you said, maybe some people will like embrace it or whatever. I guess that's when you can clearly see, psychopaths or sociopaths.
Oh, okay.
That's
when you get carried.
That's when you can probably go into a different whole other league. Psychopaths, sociopaths, and normal people, I assume.
That is a mighty rabbit hole you've been. I'm actually interested. I want to get to know more about this.
Yeah, so I mean, just after I started learning more about that, and then I stopped and I started applying it to myself.
Like psychology is one of those things I've always been interested, because I took 2 years in community college.
I'm interested, but then there's certain people.
It gets fucking scary though, dude.
Oh yeah.
Because then you're like, fuck.
I was interested, but then I met like the dipshit assholes who were just like, they would go to college like, yeah, I took psychology so I could fuck with people. I'm like, God, you're such a douche. Like,
that's an asshole.
Yeah,
that's their mask, bro.
That's the mask.
Then I met the other side of people that take psychology and they started psychoanalyzing everybody.
Yeah,
and they're like maybe 2 weeks into the course, and they're like, I read my book that this is this in Freud, and I was like,
That was me in high school.
I took sociology, and I found that a little boring, but that's because I was a
social person.
I was a little dipshit kid. Didn't take full advantage of the education they had.
I really did like the psychology class, and that's where I learned parvo, and then not parvo.
The dog, the puppy disease.
Pavlov fucking law.
Okay.
But some of this...
Day 1 psychology. We're going to tell you about a disease that kills puppies.
Hell yeah. Fucking squish them.
You know what?
Alright, that guy, y'all stay away from him.
That's 101. Don't put your puppies on grass near poop, they'll die. Yeah, fuck that dog. Get out, F. That's how we weed y'all out.
According to dipshits. According to fucking...
Next, we're going to talk about the Japanese women that step on kittens with their high heel shoes. Fuck girl! Yep. Get out.
There's only like 3 people left in class. Like, all right, you're the good eggs.
All right, so y'all the ones that I can trust you with this knowledge to help people.
They're all the fucking killers.
Yeah, there's just like one psychopath. Like in the 3, it's just like, yeah. Totally
now here's the last one. No one ever gets past. How many balls do you put in some chick's butt? All of them. Even my boys.
Get out.
Get the fuck out of here.
Alright, it's one of you. Fuck. Every time. Every fucking semester.
Why? What is it with you guys putting balls inside chicks' butts?
Have you tried it? No? Maybe you should. Fair enough. That's a good hypothesis.
I think I should leave this class then. I am no longer fit to teach this class.
I'm a shithead.
Congratulations, you are now the Jedi.
Yeah, that's how they get ranked to the next level. Yeah. Now I am the teacher.
Now I'm the gray Jedi. That's not canon. Fuck off.
Fuck Freddie Prinze Jr. He don't know shit. He said Scooby-Doo should be taught in schools.
Did he?
Yeah.
Why?
He thinks Scooby-Doo is a fundamental that should be taught in every school.
It's the greatest detective of all.
Judge everybody?
It's not, but if you watch Mystery Incorporated, that's actually pretty fun.
What's that?
It was like a Scooby-Doo show they did 2 seasons of, and it actually has like a linear story. So like
it's not just Monster of the Week.
it is Monster of the Week, but eventually like it kind of goes in, and there's
There's
actual
a plot in the background.
there's an actual plot, and then like they actually put fun little Easter eggs in there. Like you'll see a monster. Like I think Velma has like this haunted house
Is this
thing
the
that
one where they fucking meet the parents and all that shit? And you kind of understand the characters.
they have parents in it. Like right off the bat, I don't know why we got to Scooby Doo after the fucking Shadow talk, but like off the bat, like Shaggy and Velma are like hooking up, but Shaggy's being a bitch because he doesn't want to let Scooby know.
Oh, okay.
But like later down the line, there's episodes where like Scooby, what is it? Like they're gonna have.
That's right. They even broke up.
Yeah, they even broke up.
Yeah,
Like there was one
There's
cool.
like a TikTok about it.
Yeah, there's one cool episode where I guess they're
Goddamn TikTok.
at
It's good. It's a good shot.
the town that they live in.
Uh-huh.
Like they're the mystery club or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have like for some reason there's the school's handing out an award to the best mystery solving club there is. And
there's
so what
only
they
one
do
club?
is no, this is multiple.
Okay.
But the funny part is like they go to the gymnasium and there's different mystery clubs. But you remember at the time when Scooby Doo was big and they had all the knockoffs like Doom Buggy,
Yeah.
Jabberjaw, like all of them are in there.
Jabberjaw's
Jabberjaw's there.
Jabberjaw, you piece of
Is
shit.
it Jabberjaw's there, like Jabberjaw and the whole crew, Doom Buggy and the whole crew, the Funky Phantom and his whole crew are in there, and Captain Caveman and all his crew are there. And so all the crews get kidnapped, and so it's all the sidekicks like Scooby, all like Jabberjaw, all them. They all have to find the mystery themselves. I'm like, man, this is just fucking fun. I'm loving this.
Alright, maybe I'll give it a shot.
So
good old YouTube.
So when you're done fucking,
Not on YouTube? Is it on YouTube?
When you're done scaring yourself, thinking that you're a rapist, murderer, Nazi, just go over and go watch yourself some Mystery Incorporated.
You know, like
and you'll level yourself out right away.
You were talking about like the thought process behind the shadow and all that, and the ideal person. I came to a realization, like my ideal person is creative. I feel like.
Oh, hold on. Let me ask you something. When you think, do you think in words or do you think like in images?
Images.
Images?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I
more.
don't say fucking words.
Some people, like people who are very vocal and real, like, you know, they can fix their words together. A lot of people think in words. I mean, some people think in words. People who talk a lot, people who give, I guess,
know,
lots of
that
speeches
look-
like that.
Yeah, you just picture it and then you see the word.
I can't even picture it.
Like maybe you just structure your words to a certain way.
That's
I mean, I don't even,
Or
I don't even know how to speak,
and
so...
if they, I mean, they can think like images in their head, but then they can't really describe the visions that well. Is what it said. But like, if you're a very image focused person, you could probably, you know, elaborate a little more what you see or how.
For sure, yeah. Like whenever it's anything, like taking the Warhammer books for example, like I make the image in my head. Like I'm hearing these things, and you know, you see like the way they set a mood, and you imagine the scene playing out.
Yeah.
Like that's the way it works.
So
but
you're a barb inside? No, is it barb?
I have no idea what that is.
The
Barb's
the D&D.
musician?
Oh, bard.
Bard.
Yeah, it's a D with the D at it.
You're a barb.
You're a bard?
I don't know if I'm
That's
necessarily.
That's your ideal self?
I wouldn't say that
So-
because like
You would say like your highest ideal is
my highest
creativity.
ideal is just being creative, because I mean I've always been kind of a stupid art kid, you know what I mean? Like I've always been like the doodling in class, and like I always kind of, I wouldn't say excelled, but I always really perked up in art classes.
See, but why don't you ever find a profession in that?
I don't know. Just because I think that
Is it because you don't have self-confidence?
I think
on your creativity?
I think that the self-confidence kind of like eats away at me.
Because continue.
Because like the thing I started thinking of is like what really makes me happy. Like I started thinking about generally, when am I the happiest? And
When
I'm
you're the happiest, or what would be this thing that would take me away from a certain dark place?
Exactly. Yeah, because like
Damn, Freud.
I'm just saying, just,
No,
you
just
apply
sounded
to
really
it.
Good.
Yeah,
it
because-
sounded really good, my friend.
because like those dark places
Ruined it.
Those dark places, like that's. I wouldn't say it's my life, but I mean I do have like these valleys, I guess you could say. You know, the peaks and valleys, and a lot of the time I feel like I'm in a valley.
Mhm.
So I kind of started thinking like, what really makes me like, when am I the happiest, I guess you could say. And I came to the realization like, oh, when I'm being creative, like Warhammer's a part of that, you know what I mean, like painting, doing that kind of thing. But I'm happiest when I pick up my guitar, or my bass, like a musical instrument. I just start like kind of fucking around with it, and I'm happy like giving to other people. Like whenever we've done the charity events, I've always found like something in it. There's I don't know what it is, but it's something
It's that
clearly
gooey feeling.
exactly
inside.
something clearly has affected me. Maybe
Infected him.
Maybe it's the fact that, you know, like I feel like I'm contributing, like I'm helping in some way.
Yeah,
So
and then,
I'm finding more value in myself by contributing to others.
yeah, I think I'm probably butchering the whole thing, but I think they were just saying like once you kind of start at a small point where you get things cleared up in your life, you eventually start. You want bigger challenges. So when you do bigger, like, you know, I'm gonna fucking clean my room, or I'm gonna do this. You give yourself goals, and eventually they start getting bigger and bigger, and then eventually it's just kind of like you want to do more, not just more for yourself, but more for your community, or just people
Or
around
for the
you,
others
or
around
just
you.
other around you. You know,
For sure.
Damn, you
And
become
then so
Superman.
slowly but surely. I mean, especially when you kind of get down on yourself and the depression thing, and you know, it's easier to tell you not to be down on yourself.
Yeah.
But then I guess when you stop and take this whole, you know, you look more inward to yourself, you can see like the progress you made.
Yeah.
You know, you've lost your weight. Now you're seeing that, you know, oh, I feel better when I help out others. I mean, would you say you would have done this a few years back or whatever?
Probably not. I think at that point I was just, I may have been too self-involved and kind of just like, you know, I don't know if trying to get my shit together then, but now is maybe it's through age. I'm kind of like, I need to start thinking about the future and like, how is that gonna look if I'm fucking close to 400 pounds and I can barely, you know, move? Like, how am I gonna have a job, or like how are all these things gonna affect me?
How am I throw on my back while fucking?
Exactly.
In the front of a Coheed concert.
In front of a Cody concert, my little pee-pee hanging out.
Maybe if I was like a 350, I could get away with that. But 400, I don't think so. That's not cute. That's not cute anymore.
And but yeah, like I just started thinking about like the creative, being more creative and trying to do things that kind of step me out of my comfort zone.
Now, do you want that? Do you want that as something for you, or you want that for something professionally? Does making money doing something you like, creativity, does it selling it?
No, because I don't feel like I don't feel that my creativity is enough. And again, this goes back to like the self-confidence thing, like in myself. I always feel like no matter what, it's always no matter what I do, it's not good enough. You know what I mean? I have the you know, you're always comparing yourself to others and not comparing yourself to your past progress. Well, that's the key to an artist. An artist can never be content with his work, because then he'll start making shitty work. Yeah. You always have, because I know this because I for my niece, she's like, oh, I don't like this drawing, and she was always trying to do better. Yeah. And her art teacher told her, you can never be happy with your work, because that's the moment you stop trying hard doing something you're doing. Yeah. An artist and someone creative always is gonna hate their work. That way they could push themselves without pushing themselves.
I don't want to say necessarily hate your work.
No, but you don't be content.
Yeah, but I got you.
You're not
never
content.
be content with what you're producing.
And
then
even
you
if people
become stagnant.
praise it for you, and even if people praise you for the stuff you're doing, you have to tell yourself, oh, you don't have to, but you tell yourself, okay.
What do these peasants know?
It's not good enough
my
yet.
fucking art.
It's not good enough because I could do better.
That just opened a whole can of worms. No. That opened a whole fucking can of worms.
Okay, fair enough.
But
So,
yeah,
I mean, it's a good thing though.
No,
because you're right now you're in this life transition.
Yeah.
And the other day you're talking about where you want to be, where you want to be professionally, because you've worked a lot of jobs that do not make you happy.
Yeah.
And the key is maybe because you're not doing something that you yourself want to do.
Yeah.
All these jobs you're taking, and you're just taking them for money.
I mean,
but if you find a job where you could be creative, even if you don't have that confidence, that will drive you to keep doing your job a lot better.
That's a possibility. Though I did for a short period of time, even before like this kind of electrician thing, I was looking into like non-profit organizations that I can try to like look into.
But you don't get paid from that.
Exactly, and that's why I was just like, there's no way for me to
survive.
To survive.
I mean, there's people that make money off of
it. They make money.
Yeah, but there's certain things that they're looking for. There are certain degrees, like and school at this point for me is not. I'm not a school going person. Like
but you always been connected to something you could always do, and that's the church.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing.
Just
like
don't
that.
touch kids.
Don't touch kids.
But it's really hard.
Tell yourself that you can touch a kid, but don't do it.
Yeah.
No, but that's another thing.
Because next thing you know, those kids have fucking bigger dicks than you, and you're just like, fuck, man. Just those fucking
then you just let yourself go. And then you're 400 pounds trying to get down to Kobe. And then the fucking shadow took me over.
Yep. Fuck, goddamn shadow. Goddamn Peter Pan. No, but like I was looking into like nonprofits and kind of seeing like where I could go into an organization and things like that, and thinking like, would this make me happy? Because clearly money doesn't necessarily make me happy. Money makes things easier in like day-to-day life, but it doesn't make me happy.
Huh?
Like how many times have I had like actual money, like just like not actual money, but you know, I just got paid or something, and I've paid off my bills, and I'm like, oh, I have extra money. But it doesn't really bring me happiness. It brings me a peace of mind. Oh, okay, if something comes up, I have that money.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, like, I think...
You're not trying hard enough to spend that
honestly,
money.
I mean, because there's people that's driven by money.
Yeah, if,
like when we started this conversation, we're talking about, you know, how money is important or not. Some people are driven by money.
For sure.
Oh,
like, there's some people that are like that. But I'm not that person. Like the
nigga wants to be a saint.
Not even that. It's not about being a saint. Like I do want to be a better person.
He wants to be a muse.
No, I don't know about that.
I know.
But
I'm just trying to go that creative route. They all can't be zingers.
I do want to be a better person, like for myself. But I'm trying to. I'm thinking this through while I'm talking.
No, don't do that. Don't think. Just talk, bro.
Mm-hmm.
No,
just let the word vomit come. Just let it go.
Pretty much.
Works for.
That's how.
I'm not that person.
That's how I thought about the whole like slap a fat chick's ass and ride the wave in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that other people aren't better at that. You know, those snap judgments. I'm not that person. I've always been a more.
I blame your turtle blood in you.
He's gonna finish the race though.
Slow
I will say for a fact, I have not found that ideal truth just yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still just kind of going through the process of, I guess I'm just writing everything down in my head of like.
So you haven't found what makes you happy?
Wifey.
I said.
I mean, other than your love, but love's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's a whole.
Because love,
different can of worms.
Yeah, that is.
We're just can of worms and rabbit holes here, people.
Yeah, I'm still trying
to
figure that out myself.
Yeah.
I've always been asked like, well, what do you want to do? I'm just like, I don't know.
My fucking brother's that way.
These are questions that I've never really asked myself. I'm more of just kind of like, I just went with things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just kind of I kind of go with the flow. My whole life I've just been just going with the flow because that's just how I survived.
Yeah. The thing is, I was like that. I don't know when that switch happened though. Mm-hmm. Like I honestly, I can't pinpoint a time
when you got diabetes, and so did everybody.
I had diabetes. Like I was diagnosed with diabetes when I was like 20.
What I think? You know what I think it was
for a long time.
When your brother started getting right.
No, for real. I was diagnosed when I was 20.
Yeah.
I've had it for like fucking 10 years already.
Yeah, we were there when he got diagnosed and he cut back on some shit.
Yeah.
That's when he's trying to lose weight the first time. This was before.
That's when I would be fucking smoking, like chain smoking.
That's when the good sugar jokes came around.
Exactly. Like
can't do it with my diabetes.
But this new switch, you know what I think happened? When your brother started getting right.
Maybe.
Because when your brother started getting right, because he was forced to get right.
Yeah.
Because he had kids to worry about.
That could be a thing, yeah.
I don't know, because we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, my brother is getting right. I'm going to try doing what he's doing.
But I would say that that's a contributing factor. I think. I mean,
coming from an outside source, this is what I noticed.
I think it was more that like, like I had diabetes, but I never thought like, I was like, I have it under control, whatever. I kind of eat like shit, but you know, I watch my sugar. You know what I mean? I was always that guy. And then I realized that, you know, like I was looking at my brother, and you know, you look at somebody day to day, you don't see that change. You don't see like them gaining that 1 pound or 2 pounds every day just by eating whatever, because you're not paying attention to that. You see them every day.
I see it on Tony every time. That's fucking disgusting.
I mean, you're not far from it, buddy.
That's why we don't look at mirrors.
Yeah,
I'll break out my mirrors.
I told you I was proud of you last time.
I made my first goal.
Things. Yeah, like the vest thing. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, keep it going. Like I do want. Why do you think I'm fucking taking Eric to the gym?
Because he's an idiot.
Like the gym, like I want to do something better, but I also want to help him.
Because cheerleader effect.
Yeah, exactly. Like once, you start getting that time under your belt.
No.
It was like the cheerleader effect. Did you surround yourself with when you surround yourself with 2s, you look like a 10.
No, but I told you this, right? You can push my brother all he wants, but if he doesn't want to fucking do it, it doesn't work.
That is true. Like Eric, everybody has their moment when
Eric
that happens.
has to find the thing that's gonna drive him, the thing that makes him happy, or when he wants to lose weight. I've told him this before. Because they're like, hey man, why aren't you doing this for your brother anymore? My mom was like, wait, why aren't you fucking pushing him anymore? I go, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
It takes shit away from me and what I want to do and things I want to do to push him. And at the end of the result, if he doesn't want to fucking do it, he's not gonna do it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna change. I go, and the only way he's gonna change or get a job that he likes or succeed is that if he wants to do it. That's the only way it has to work. You have to look deep inside and go, okay, this is what drives me. This is what makes me happy. This is where I want to be, and this is who I want to become.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, getting dragged along by someone else just hurts that person that's dragging you.
Yep.
Because suddenly you're like, fuck, man. And it becomes a chore or it becomes something that you have to carry on your shoulders. And it shouldn't be fair to you. That's why when you told me, hey man, wake up your brother, I was like, no man, I ain't gonna do that no more.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you text me, he's like, hey man, wake up your brother. I was like, no. Yeah. And I told you, I'm not gonna do it anymore because if he doesn't want to do it himself, it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
Can of worms. How was it?
I mean, y'all are my family. Like I love y'all. So I want to see y'all do better. And you yourself, you have a motivation of some kind. What is that? What that is?
Huh? Oh no! I thought the joke in my head was just like, "You're my family. I love you."
Fucking gay.
Exactly.
I was waiting for him to say it too. He says it all the fucking time.
This is why I can't be vulnerable.
Yeah. No, I got you.
No, but.
But we're hitting some type of peak here, and I'm just staying quiet so you can work through it.
Well, the thing is, I want to see y'all do better, and you yourself, you've taken the initiative. So you.
Well, I got to initiative because I got to that fucking point where it was either don't get out of bed no more, or fucking change.
Yeah.
For years, people have fucking been telling me quit soda, quit doing this, quit doing that, and I was like, nah, fuck that.
And you're banging your water as evil drum.
Yeah, fucking water still tastes like shit.
I like to say I never pushed him to do it. I was like, eat some more soda, get fatter.
It got to a point where I got really fucking bad.
Yep.
Really fucking bad. Where my mom had to fucking help me walk to the restroom.
Yep.
And I was using her as a fucking cane to walk around. I go, this is not who I want to be.
Yep.
And that's when I go, okay, well, I don't want to fucking be this. Stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
You could fucking yell all you want about how water sucks and it's gay, but If your body needs it, you
I don't
fucking
think anybody
water's
said
gay.
Water's gay.
Water's fucking gay. Fuck that.
You know what's funny? You need it though.
Yeah.
And aren't you happier now? It's fucking
Nah,
fat.
fucking
Uncle
Yeah,
Bird.
I've yet to find happiness, but I do feel better.
But the thing is, like, you're doing better. The
Good
thing
job.
is, you feel better.
Yeah.
That should be like that's what drove me.
And it wasn't water.
I'm hoping, you know, the same goes for you, where you feel better and it compounds and be like, okay, well, now I feel better, let me try this. If I feel better now, let me try that. And it just keeps going. Like,
Oh,
the
I know
momentum,
the
you know
next
what I mean?
level was me had to go to the gym.
The rock rolling down the hill.
Damn, dude, don't call him a rock rolling down the hill. You trying to lose weight, bro?
I mean, that's what it is.
I was supposed to be the 2020 start January, go to the gym, but I got sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I'm waiting for this cold to get out so I can go to the gym.
Just late start, baby. Just late
That's
start.
all
Oh,
it
no,
is.
but
So the whole thing is, like, I'm glad you're doing it, and the thing is, you don't need any like outward motivation. I can give you some words of encouragement. You take that as you will. Eric, on the other hand, like, yeah, you do have to force him, but
I think Eric needs to cheer squad.
I think he does. Like, I think once he has that kind of that. He has somebody giving him compliments. I think he feeds on that. I think he feeds
Nigga,
on
praise
compliments.
me.
So, but the whole thing is, like, yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
You
I just
needy
text
girl.
him in the morning.
Hell yeah.
That's all I do. I say,
Never
wake
said
up.
I wasn't.
All I tell him to do is wake up, and if he
Grab a
answers,
little
he
brush
answers.
and
If
makeup.
not, I go to the gym without him. It does not matter. The thing is, I'm gonna get my shit in. Does not matter. He's either gonna follow or he's not.
If he's there, good on him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not-
If he's there, we'll fucking do it together.
Which I've been texting him before he even texted me.
Yeah, but that's because, you know, I sleep through the night.
Yeah.
I get a good 7 hours of sleep, you know, with little to no interruptions.
That's another thing I've realized, that sleep's like really fucking
Sleep
important.
is super important.
Yeah.
Like, it
Like,
is.
but that hard sleep.
Yeah, you need
That sleep where you
that's
leave your
where
body for a
recovery
little bit.
kicks in. Like, that's where your
Yeah.
actual recovery kicks
I
in.
call that the fucking slobber sleep, bro. You ever
But
get that good sleep?
I
you fucking
slobber
wake up,
every
you're
time.
like,
I sleep on my stomach, so I slobber no matter what.
You can sleep on your stomach?
Yeah, I
Damn.
sleep
Oh,
in the
dude.
figure four.
You can't
Yeah.
sleep. You can't sleep in your stomach because you got that dick in the way, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I have little pee-pee syndrome, so
Fucking smile.
like
I sleep on my I have to sleep on my side. Like, if I sleep on my back,
Yeah.
fetal
If I-
position.
yeah, more or
Like,
less.
are you curled or are you just
No, like on my side,
Alright.
and I have to. Usually, I get a pillow like to hold. But the thing is, like, if I sleep with next to somebody, I would say if I sleep next to my chick. But just like what I realized, like, if there's anybody else next to me, I sleep with like my back towards them.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know why. Like, I can lay, like, I can hold her for a little bit, but eventually I'll just go back to the position where I'm just like away.
You got trust issues. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, what does that say about you?
No, it doesn't say anything. It's just that's your like sleeping side. Like, people just have like that's the
preference.
side you tend to favor, and that's just where you end up. That's where you find your comfort, and that's where you.
Dude,
can
I
fall
can't
asleep.
sleep on my
If
stomach.
I sleep on my back, I'm just fucking like. Apparently, I snore like loud, like
Really?
almost to the point where it's concerning.
Really.
Dude, I
Yeah.
think that's when your body is like most
I'll
relaxed.
wake myself up.
I don't
'cause snore
know
that loud.
about that. Like, whenever I do sleep on my back, I usually do like. I don't think I snore. I don't think I've ever really snored, no matter what. But
Sleep over at Rome's.
I think I've heard him snore before.
No, when you sleep on your back and you snore with...
I'm not saying I haven't
Just
snored.
means-
I'm
just
saying
means you
it's
can't
not
breathe.
something-
No, but do you feel in the morning, do you feel better when you sleep on your side or when you sleep
I
on your back?
just go back to my side. So
Yeah?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I sleep in the figure four. Like, I sleep on my stomach. One leg is stretched out, the other is like in the actual four.
Fuck, nigga, you don't get a cramp?
No, and then like I have one arm under my pillow, and my pillow's like over my arm, and the other arm's like right here. So like I literally sleep like this.
Dude, you don't look comfortable at all.
Man, that is
This
not look
nigga
comfortable.
this nigga just sleeps the way he would like at high school when they had the desk with the thing. Where he just kind of like that, and he's like,
Oh,
Yeah, pretty much. Like
That's what he does.
I just do that like
he
laying
just goes
down.
back to school.
But yeah, that's the way I've always slept.
Nigga, you sleep like a pretzel.
I sleep so. Apparently, that's been a thing since I was like a child. My mom was like,
He's gonna grow up
You-
to do cocaine.
like apparently my mom was like, you slept like in the oddest. I could be like this and like twisted like all over the place. So apparently that never just stopped.
You're a
Nah,
statement
you know,
child.
now we know
Exactly.
Demonio.
we know where he got his fucking turtle shell from.
Yeah.
Bad sleep positions.
For sure.
Fucking-
And like,
that and his mama trying to fucking set him straight with God.
but yeah, like I sleep all fucked up, so I
Shit.
get that.
How
But
did we get to sleeping?
I have no idea.
We went from shadows to.
Oh, but you made me think
Feel
of
like a
something.
woman.
When you were talking about
Man.
creativity and like trying
go,
to
Tony.
find like financial gain out of it. I mean, I kind of do that with like taking commissions for Warhammer, but you've seen me when I do those Warhammer commissions, I'm not happy.
You're supposed to be happy.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing behind it, is that even though I can make I can possibly make money through
You're
like
sort
a
of
creative
happy. You just don't like being
endeavor.
pressured into a time thing.
Not even that. Like the time thing is what it is.
I'm not
It's
saying
It's more of a
the end
hobby.
result.
You like it more as a hobby.
I like it more as a hobby.
You
like
want to do what you want to do.
exactly. Like, I want
I know that feeling.
I want to do my own creative thing. I don't want to be like somebody. This is someone else's idea. I'm gonna execute it. I don't like that. I like executing my own ideas.
Yeah,
You
like
want free
executing
creativity.
people.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. Is I don't think I'm at a point where I
Can't
can
control
do
your
that.
creativity, yeah.
Where I can make a financial gain out of it. And I don't know if I necessarily would want to. But
Maybe,
yeah, like
maybe creativity and money did not go hand in hand for you. Because
maybe
I always told you when you went to go play at that bar that one fucking time. I told you, hey man, you could do this.
No, I was in the bar. It was
The restaurant or whatever the fuck it was. I told him, hey man, you know you could pursue this. You could do it. You're like, I don't know. I don't fucking be that person that you have to tell play. Because it takes away the fun out of it. When someone tells you to fucking do it,
yeah.
it takes away the fun out of it.
And that's what it is. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm just a fucking like
I mean,
free spirit, blah blah blah. Like maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a fucking hippie and I
You
don't
just
know
want
it.
your creativity to
But-
be to have
You
make you
fucking flower
happy.
child.
But yeah,
I
like
think that's what it is. You want your creativity to make you happy,
yeah, and I am happy whenever I'm doing something like
and
that.
then they
Like
force you to fucking do it. It takes away the happiness.
like I'm gonna like I haven't told you this, but I might as well tell you this now. I'm gonna take some of the equipment either this week or next week
And put it in my butt.
Damn, don't do that.
because I want to.
Oh, child, why are you doing that?
I want to do some because John had said, "Oh, I want you to
Damn,
like
you and
do."
John are gonna do something with this?
He wanted me to make
I bet he did.
a like
Maybe.
kind of music, like some start music for the Lost
Intro
Chapters.
song.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. The intro song for the
Yeah, like he wanted me to do an intro song for the Lost Chapters.
The last chapter.
So like I was kind of like, oh well, I have all my shit. I can just take some of this here. I have Audacity on my computer, boom, 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 and I can do that. And that started making me happy. Like, oh well, like what kind of music should I do? Should I make fucking 3 different ones and like play them out like in different like
it's all
areas?
synth or nothing.
And the thing is, I was like, well, if I'm gonna do
That'd
it
be
for
awesome.
if I'm gonna do it for that show, if I'm gonna do it for Lost Chapters, like should I do it for City? Because if you want to get it like on Spotify, it has to be like our own music or no
Yeah,
music.
but in order to get Spotify, we still need a lot of fucking...
That's true, but like I'm just saying, like I think
don't know,
about
like,
this thing,
Maybe this is our year.
and the thing is, like I started thinking, like, oh, should I do that for City? And I started thinking, like, City's so fucking random. Maybe I should make multiple little intros, like different styles of music, and then Tony can plug it into what he thinks will match that week.
Yeah,
And
that
I was
just, I don't know. I think you guys enjoy picking the song I put in the intro.
Uh,
I was like, I don't know. It's
I mean,
up to you.
that's fine. I have no problems with that. But again, like that creative
Maybe an
thing where I
outro
was
song.
like,
Have we play in
exactly.
the background for when we say bye? Just playing that.
Bye!
And like that jam.
and that's the thing. I was just thinking about like, oh, okay, I can
Make
do
the bye
that.
song.
But I was also just thinking about like painting. I was actually thinking about doing canvas paintings and things like that. Getting back into doodling and shit
Bob
like that.
Rouse.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like thinking like, oh, I'm really happy whenever I embrace like the fucking arts, whatever that may be. I end up being really happy around that. So
You know, you guys, whoever's listening to this, should tell us what makes you happy in the comments.
yeah, and
Do we have comments?
we do have one comment. I honestly wanted to like ask y'all like, what is like what are the things that make you happy? Like, because for me it's creativity. Like, is a creative process fun to you or not?
I would say the driving factor. Now that I said driving factor, maybe I know my driving factor has to be humor.
Okay.
That's the only time I'll get into something.
That's when it brings you funnies.
I like things that are funny, and
I could see that
I think humor.
for you
I
because
think
you
humor
know,
plays
how
a big,
you've
huge
just
thing.
coasted your life and a lot of shit's happened to you.
You just coasted.
Oh, he said it himself.
I mean, I said to myself.
I
But-
heard you go with the flow to survive. That's not coasting.
Oh, I mean, this motherfucker has been through a lot. Like I was,
A fair amount of stuff.
and just in the era that we met you.
Stuff that you
Could you
don't know.
imagine if you were in a fucking job at the comic shop, no wifey, no none of this.
Nah, it's true. We've talked about that too. She's like, what would happen if you didn't?
If you would have stayed, where were you at the bank?
I think, yeah, she's like, what happens if you would stay there? I was like, I don't know. I was like, maybe I would have lost my job or whatever. Because my whole plan was like, I'm just going to I'm leaving. Like, as soon as my probation stuff was out, I was like, I'm out of here, dude.
You were gonna skip
And
town.
my cousin, too, was just like, hey, he's like, once you're done with that, just come up to Washington with me.
Mm.
And he's like, you can stay here, just do what you got to do, and then,
That would have been the whole
you know.
fucking.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, as soon as this fucking thing's done, in a couple months, I'm just going to leave because I just don't want to do this
And
no
then
more.
you met her.
Yeah.
Then you snatched that kid up.
No, I mean, back to my point.
Got my van and I snatched her up.
You've been through a lot.
She came
your
for the
whole
candy.
life.
She stayed for the balls.
Life
I don't know,
has,
that makes me, yeah.
life has thrown so much at you that you had to find the humor in things.
Yeah,
'Cause
maybe.
You've been down some dark ways, so I mean, that's why funny kind of drives you, I guess, because it's always been that thing.
Maybe that's my true ideal.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try stand-up comedy.
Hey.
Maybe do an open mic night.
Ooh.
Damn,
I honestly
one
thought
mic
about
up.
doing an open mic night. Just like,
Just
maybe just
bomb.
fuck around. Yeah, just
I
bomb and just like
fucking
see like,
bomb.
Yeah,
man, what the
because
fuck?
say you did it.
Exactly, and just be
I'll
like,
I'll do the Bernie Mac thing where I'm just not funny and just like, I'm afraid of you. That's all.
Kick it.
Yeah.
Bernie Mac was fun.
I'm not afraid of you.
Kick it. That's all I remember from
You
the.
don't understand.
the-
I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers.
Yeah, pretty much.
the
Yeah.
Def Jam.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. His fucking pants he was wearing,
Yeah.
on his foot, and then
Those loud ass
kick
fucking
it.
clothes from the 90s. Be like,
Yeah.
God damn, what the fuck's wrong with you?
And then he went to those fucking sweet threads.
Yeah, he went to those fucking
What about you,
bright-ass orange-
Mr.
Then ammonia.
Mr. Beauty Man?
Took 'em out.
What's gonna drive you? What makes you the happiest?
What makes me the happiest?
What is your ideal truth?
While he's thinking about my happiness is a bad thing. And I have not been allowed to fucking do it. I love gambling.
Touch yourself.
That's another. I was
No,
wondering. I was
sir.
like, can I start an OnlyFans for people that like really shitty bodies? And I was like, I didn't get in that
Oh,
market.
dude, I contemplated starting OnlyFans with our homeboy
Uh-huh.
because he has a whole bunch of girls. He's like, dude, we'll make Eric's house the cam house and we'll fucking. And it was a whole business idea.
Ooh.
And I was
You
like,
could.
I have this. We could
Lucrative
just get
market.
girls.
Yeah.
We give them a couple bucks. Let's like, hey man, this is a contract. You get pictures and shit.
Yeah.
Have
And I was like, it's a business. And I was like, hey, he was like, yeah, we should do it. It was like, yeah, we should. And I think he was talking to his wife.
Yeah.
He was like, what? He's like, nothing. I don't want to do this no more. I was like, alright.
Sometimes I don't want to. I just can't. Fucking bitch.
Nah, but
all the fucking
Goddamn ball of chain.
all this red tape.
what makes me the happiest is when I'm gambling. I
Yeah.
love gambling. I love the whole mindset of gambling and playing
Yeah.
games and shit. And the money comes, money goes, and when you hit it big, oh fuck yeah. But when you hit those lows,
Yeah.
that's some dark
You
time.
find another identity.
But it runs in my family.
Mm.
My grandpa was a gambler. My grandma had a gambling house, lost it because of gambling. My mom, not my grandma, my great grandma.
Oh, gotcha.
And for since I was little, my mom has never let me gamble because she goes, it's been on both sides of the bloodlines. It's like nah, because he.
So someone has it, and I think it's you.
That's
Yeah,
what she says about drinking, bro.
Yeah, well, you fucking do have that fucking gene.
and maybe.
Yeah, we got the
But
gene,
yeah,
Is that your happiness?
What, being drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. No.
What,
Just like playing video games.
Just bumming out?
Yeah, we're just bumming out.
Beach bum. He wants to be a beach bum.
Shut
not
up,
really.
bruh. You want some zinc on your nose?
Right.
I think sting.
I was never allowed to go to
That's
the
my
happy
that's
place.
my ideal truth. Fucking slinging some yogurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, every everybody here in this room knows that my fucking Mecca, my holy temple is Las Vegas.
Oh,
No,
we're
it's
talking
true.
about your Mecca, bro.
No, I get you.
But I'm not allowed.
I mean,
Who says you're not allowed? Everybody tells you get the fuck out of here.
The world.
Your bitch
Anyways,
doesn't want to stay.
what is like? Is that it? Is that honestly what makes you happy? Just bumming out, just vegging out and shit.
No, I'm not happy. I just do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
The
saying.
question
like,
was, what makes you happy?
What makes you happy?
Well, that's a deep philosophical question.
Why do you think I'm fucking asking it, you jackass?
I mean, I did start the whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
I just didn't want to
Makes me happy. Makes me happy. Being around people.
being social.
Yeah. Just a little bit of eyes on me from time to time. I'm happy, but other than
Party
that,
planner style?
Again,
more than likely, it's just-
I think that like
An
just
event
like
planner?
Mark, like stand-up comedy might be something like to go to a fucking open mic night.
I can't do it because you need structure.
Not at all.
Yeah, you
Fucking
do.
Joey.
I mean,
Joey Diaz says like I barely write anything.
You could be the shot comic.
Yeah, but I
there's-
never heard of Joey D until I listened to Roken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the thing is like not that sort of creative process. Like no creative process is the same. Just because like there's structure that you'll have to do doesn't mean that you won't pick that up
It
along
comes
the way.
with
naturally.
the trade, dude.
But
You're thinking that you need that structure from the very beginning.
no,
you don't need it.
Not
from the
necessarily.
I
No,
think
you'll
he's
learn
just-
it.
I think he's
But
just
the thing
afraid of
is,
being in front of a
my
crowd.
my funny is really just more like
Inside jokes.
inside jokes or just making fun of the people I know your audience.
beginning. Yeah.
So
Insult
yeah,
comic.
I could go and be an insult comic, but it won't do as good.
Right, he'll be the fucking new
the-
age Dow Rickles.
Then as soon as so people fire back, I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, I'll be like, fuck you guys, get out of my show.
You don't know me.
You know what it is? He wants eyes on him, but he doesn't want all eyes on him.
Yeah,
Could you imagine
Like
fucking...
the opposite of Tupac.
yeah.
Imagine
Oh,
a sweaty ass
that's
mess in front of the
some eyes
fucking
on
people.
me.
See, because I it was weird because my mom used to force me to do like these talent searches when I was younger. So at one point in time, she took us to go do like you know where the Boys and Girls Club's at right
Yeah.
now. It used to be that fucking elementary at Coronado, I think.
Yeah.
So she took me and my sister over there one time, and she wanted us to sing. She said that I could sing, and she forced me to do it. I didn't want to do it because I saw the camera, and then I was just like, man, don't fucking tell me what to do. And I ended up screwing it up bad, and she was just like, you fucking failed me.
You
And I was like,
disappointment.
yeah. I was like, alright, I'm alright with that. Then when she forced us to fucking dance, didn't want to do it either. Because again, it's being forced. I just want to do what I want to do.
When you want to do it.
Yeah, everything gets done in its own time.
That's
And
When
what
I'm ready out.
Isn't that
that-
so fucking selfish too?
I'm very selfish. I never said I
I mean,
wasn't.
I'm not saying that it's not selfish, but I mean the thing is that's just the personality. Like that's something that you can try to change,
Mhm,
but
he
that's
ain't gonna change.
but that's all up to you. Like that's him.
No one puts baby in the corner.
Yeah, and the thing is like that's why I think stand up comedy is something like that because that relies all on you.
And no one's gonna tell you to do it. You do it whenever the fuck you want to do it.
No one forces. Like someone may force you to do like an open mic night the first time, but after that, let's see if
or
you
you have a
like,
manager and they're like, hey, you gotta go to
Don't
that.
get a
but,
manager.
Like again, that's
No, that's what I don't want.
I mean, that's
but-
the thing. You don't get a manager. If you don't want it, you don't
Yeah,
do
there's
it.
some people that don't have managers. They're just like, yeah, I do everything myself.
You let-
Hey,
You
other
let their-
time it's just playing video games. I'm happy
exactly,
just
and
playing
that's,
video games.
and that's what I'm saying. Like stand-up comedy seems to be like,
Which
a
is
thing.
funny because you would think that with the way the world is right now and technology, you could stream and be funny, but when you play, you stay quiet.
Because I'm focusing on my game.
Yeah, I get it. I'm the same
So
way.
you can't have both. You can't have both things together.
Being like I said, when those people stream and they're doing the funny, they're doing it with the structure already. Like
People stream. They're funny. I think most of them just do it
Yeah, they don't
for
just
the.
no fucking
They just
structure.
do it for the entertainment.
Yeah, they turn on their camera
Turn
and
on
they
the
hit
camera, they
record
try
and they
entertain
just
the people.
talk to
we're
whatever.
talking about like funny, like talking mad shit to each other.
No, just general fucking. When you never seen streamers,
Nah.
they
Like
turn on the camera and
I
they
guess
just
there's some
literally
streamers
just
that just
talk.
want to play, but I mean,
Yeah.
Look, like a perfect example is a dude that I watch for Destiny. His name's MTash. Like he's good. Like he's good at it, but he's like trying to make things entertaining.
Yeah.
So like every time he gets killed, he like does like a silly yell or something.
oh, boo.
So like
There you go.
so
see?
like
I
that
got it.
kind of thing. Like
See, the entertainment don't come until you have people to entertain.
yeah,
You just turn on the camera and play. People be like, okay, you just fucking play and play.
yeah.
Then you realize you have someone you can interact with in the chat, and then you start feeding off each other. You read the
That's
room.
why
and
I
go back
realized
and
that
forth.
my YouTube channel just fucking like didn't get anything because
Suddenly-
I'm the same person as Eric when it comes to playing a game. I just get lost in the game and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be saying shit. Fuck. Okay. What I'm trying to do, and it just comes off. Really
But when you're streaming
bad.
different, man, you in between rounds and shit, you start saying the dumb crap you say, and people be like, "Ha, that's fucking funny,"
Exactly.
and then just, hey, man, and then
I'm gonna fucking party with this guy.
yeah, pretty much that's what it is. But
Who
knows?
gets me,
comments, Roman, comments.
Yes, if you want to leave a comment, go ahead and leave it at youtube.com/Grimrix while you're listening to this. Or if you want to send us an email, go ahead and send it to citypod88@gmail.com. Eric.
citypod88@gmail.com.
It's been a lengthy one, hey?
Don't forget to join the social media stuff.
Yeah, again, Instagram,
Oh.
Twitter.
We had a poll to see who does the better.
It was me.
Social media.
Don't kid yourself. It was me.
Bitch, I got
But
it.
fuck it.
Links in the description below.
Description.
Links in the description below.
Anyway, comment. Who's your
Comment
comment?
description. Who the fuck y'all?
He shot
I know Tony,
He
nigga.
shot daggers at you, and you fucking correct him. Like, fuck you. What do you know?
Fucking homeless.
Fucking gutter trash. Like, hey man, cool it.
Fucking parasite. Can't live for myself.
Forcing me to fucking say the right thing.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I like yelling. I find happiness in yelling.
I find happiness just demeaning other people. Just
You
good.
just jelly.
And now it's time for the Close to Climb Jam Power Hour.
Oh, come on and slam. And welcome to the clam. Yeah. Who starts dancing now? Come on. Clam. Hey, welcome to the jam. I'm Joey Diaz. you know me.
I was just waiting for you to fucking do that. Alright, her first and only comment. Ford suck.
It's true.
Hey, whoa.
Ford-
They do look nice, but the engine and everything else, they're just going to screw. You're just going to screw yourself over, and that's because I don't even know that much about vehicles. But just from what I've experienced and seen, and what my husband says, I know Fords are trash.
They are, and my favorite vehicle was a Ford.
There you go. Oh, that fucking
That little
The
Ranger?
fucking Ranger.
Yeah.
I fucking love that
Those
Ranger.
drug dealers Ranger, dude. That's what it is, dog.
Oh,
I
man,
had a
fucking love
Chevy,
that Ranger.
my Chevy Trailblazer.
And then
Fucking
I've
love it.
had Ford all my life, and I've been okay with it.
Hey man, I'm
That's
just
how
saying.
your life sucks.
Starts with
it
a
true?
truck.
Well, thank you, Clarissa.
And that was the Close to Climb Jam Power Hour.
Hey, you, what you gonna do? Hey, you, what you gonna do?
And that was our only comment.
Oh.
Bye.
I don't think we have any emails. I'm gonna double check right now.
This has been a long one, hasn't it?
The last couple ones have been almost this long. I cut them up though.
I'm just saying. I don't think you should cut them up. I think just fucking let it flow.
Chopped and screwed.
Let it flow, baby. But
That's it.
yeah,
My-
that is it.
Thank you for the comments.
Yes,
Go ahead,
Clarissa.
Clarissa.
Thanks for pointing out that Tony is trash and his trash taste.
Sorry if this got all downer.
Huh?
So sorry if this got all downer.
No, I think you need that balance. You can't have the.
I don't
light
think it was
without the
down there.
dark.
It's actually really good conversation and interesting topics.
Okay.
People sometimes
Maybe
have
we
to.
can do this again. Probably not next week, but
Maybe,
yeah.
We'll
maybe
see.
there was
We'll
like
see what happens.
Oh, that's right,
We'll
Mark
see what
had
happens
that
when I
there was
listen.
like an insight on people, and they're like, man, these guys are fucking
Depressing.
train wrecks. Just like this podcast.
I know this is the third week in a
On
row
the
that
board.
Clarissa has hurt me.
I mean, the only person who doesn't hurt you is Prune.
Yeah, he hasn't commented in a while.
He busy.
Yeah. Busy, ow.
You too busy. You don't
It's
like
alright.
your ass.
Hey, fucking hat actually fits me like a haircut.
Alright, anyways. Thank you for listening to episode 179 of the City Podcast. We have been your hosts. I'm Tony, and I'm here with...
Your boy, Eric.
Hate that boy.
And?
Damn, you didn't
Roman.
even finish.
I was gonna call myself Eric. I was like, Jesus Christ.
And of course, Mr.
The toddler that forgot his name.
Sean something.
You really just forgot it. Fair
Just
enough.
add the toddler.
But like we say at the end of every episode, bye.
Bye.
Find your truth.